Hello, good evening. Welcome back to West Ham Network on this Wednesday evening or Thursday morning over there in Brisbane. How are you, Kieran, my old pal?
G'day, mate. Good. Hell of an interesting week, bloke. We survived Cyclone Saturday.
Yeah, mate. So how was that? I mean, let the viewers know a little bit about what you went through, mate.
Yeah, not so bad here, guys, because we're not right on the coast. On the coast, copped it, right? But as I sort of thought would happen, as the cyclone hit land, it dropped to because it was a rated 2, right? And then it dropped to a 1, and then a couple of hours later, it dropped to a heavy tropical storm. So It wasn't as bad as we first feared, that it was me, but it's still done a lot of damage. There's a lot of trees down. It went bonkers here with the wind and the rain. My power went out for about 20 hours. So I was sitting here with no power, no Wi-Fi, and no nothing. All the freezers started defrosting, all that sort of shit. But
oh shit!
We were lucky, Brett. There were 20 hours, bad enough, right? You don't realise how much you depend on everything. But it was Angela, my friend. She was out for 3 days. So it was bad. And then the rain, 4 days of rain followed it, So half of Brisbane's underwater. A lot of people underwater, So they copped it bad. Me, not so much. But it was. I sent a little vid to you, didn't I? It was lapping at the back door, geez. The water was up trying to get in.
I noticed that, and I thought to myself, "You're a braver man than me having your door open."
Yeah, just have a look. It usually flows away, so.
It was literally like a centimetre below the threshold.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but, a lot of people had a lot worse than me, guys. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, plenty of rain. And I mean 24 hours rain for 4 days. It just did not stop. But the sun's back out, bloke. You can see.
Yeah.
The sun's back out.
Let's say good evening to some of the people in the chat then. Randy, good evening. Good evening to you, usual. Good evening to you, Mark. Brendan or Toa. Darren Warby, good evening to you. Who else have we got? Mr. Bong. James, good evening, mate. Who else have we got? And look who's in the house, Mama Flossie. Just stopped by to show some love. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciated. Cookie Hammer. Good evening, gents and all.
Cookie.
Good evening, Kieran. Thank you, Mama. Brandy saying hi to Mama. When will you judge Potter? Now, end of the season, or wait until next season? Now, that's a fair question. That is a fair question, Mark. And for me, I can't judge Potter at the moment because I think he's doing the best with what he's got. And I really don't believe that every player that's in our squad is suitable for Graham Potter's style of football. So I think you've got to give him at least one summer window. You've got to. So, maybe this time next year we could perhaps have a better idea of what we've got. But I don't think we should be making any judgments until at least then. What about you, Cieran?
Well, I think you can judge him on games and performance rather than judging Potter. We're judging the results and the games we see. And like I said, when I said at the beginning, when people sort of creaming their knickers a little bit about Potter when he done had a couple of good games, I'm not in that camp. I don't trust him yet, and I'm not sure he's the saviour. So I judge him game by game. And if you go back the Villa game, we gave him a good game. We've had a couple of good games at the beginning. Then Brentford come along. It was fucking horrendous. But then he rescued it with the Arsenal game. Played the low block, and we hit him, and we nicked the points. But then the last two have been Leicester, and people give out the positives. We got a clean sheet, a 2-0 win. It was dire. It was absolutely dire to watch. And so was this. We offered nothing against Newcastle. I hated it, dude. I hated watching it. I never, ever thought he was going to score. We offered nothing going forward. It was too pragmatic for me. And I'll go, okay, Potter, I can see why you're not changing the team, and it's worked for a couple of games. That's what he's doing, but I don't think you can keep doing that. It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I can't remember how many times Ward-Prowse got the ball and passed it backwards. It must have been in the 60s. But I'm not going to knock Prowse for that because I believe that was what he wanted him to do. Control the ball, hold the ball, keep the ball. And it didn't matter if you give it back to Ariana 50 times. It didn't matter. That was his job. That was his role. So I'm not knocking the players. The effort I still think is there from the players. I just thought the whole setup, when you look at where we were, we had, including the goalkeeper, 9 defenders on the pitch. That's what we had. And it just made for a dull, boring.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. Didn't enjoy it at all. So I'm judging him on that. He's got for the rest of the season. I just like incrementally see a bit of improvement every week. And we're sort of going, one step forward, one step back. But, he's got the players he's got. Bad news about Somerville probably out for the rest of the season. I was hoping to see that injection coming into the team, but that don't look like it's going to happen, which is a shame. But the whole midfield there, you got, Alvarez, Souček, Ward-Prowse, 3 defensive midfielders, no creativity. Well, it makes for a very dull game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
good evening, Daz. Good evening to Steve as well. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Hang on, look, old man's in the house. Come on.
Andy.
There you
go.
Me. Biggest kind of flag is not playing Guilherme.
It's weird, isn't
it? I do get it, but like I've said, the boy's still only 19, Cieran, and it's a tough league for any 19-year-old to enter into. Least of all, one from Brazil who's never been outside.
Lopetegui sort of chose not to play him, really, didn't he? And now Potter's not. Yeah. Even coming off the bench, he's not. It makes you wonder whether he's anywhere near it,
Well, I think maybe he's struggling with the physicality of the league. That's my belief. Good evening, GP. Thank you. £3. Real nice of you.
There you go, bro.
Yeah. Mama, you did deserve, despite Newcastle having one eye on the Carabao Cup. Excuse me.
No.
You're professional and we were not good enough. So, fair play. Says
Their midfield. Their midfield is too good for
us. A lot of us think, mate, And, it's nice to see GP back, by the way. But it's kind of it's frustrating that we're not seeing a massive change in fortunes or a massive change in direction of the style. We're seeing little bits here and little bits there, and then we go take 2 steps forward, and then we're doing another step backwards again, and it's frustrating. But like I said, Graham Potter hasn't got his full squad right now. He hasn't had a decent window yet, where there's money available for him. And let's be honest, there wasn't really much available for him in the winter.
No, he hasn't. And we won't see that. If you're lucky, you could see it next season if you're lucky. But in that game, there were changes he could have made or could have started with that would have made us more attacking. And he chose not to. He chose to do the defensive, pragmatic style at home against Newcastle. With, like, you think, if they'd got one eye on that Carabao Cup, all he had to do was go at them more. Oh, it could have backfired, but I'd love to have seen it anyway. But the positives were Isaac never got a look in. Jacob Murphy's been tearing it up for him lately. He really weren't in the game. And I thought they were in third gear at Newcastle. I thought the opportunity was there to go at. And, but we done our sort of usual last 15 minutes, throw everybody on and hope for the best. It didn't work. But there you go. That was his choices to play what he wanted to play. And we're not conceding lots of goals, but we never looked like scoring one.
Good evening, Steve, by the way. Potter has the team generally, not all the time, playing with a bit more interest and intent, I would say. I think some of the team are lacking some application, but after recent years, ... and I get where you're coming from, Steve, and good points there, some real good points, Cieran? What are you saying? I mean, do you think that there are some players that need to step up, or I mean, I know.
I think the effort's there, guys. I think the effort's there from all the players. I don't see anyone not trying.
Yeah.
I just think it is the setup. I mean, you're playing with 3 defensive midfielders, no creativity in the middle. What do you expect? And you're playing against a midfield against Newcastle of Linton, Guimaraes, who's the other boy, and they were too good for us.
Yeah. Mark, that is a good point. Scholes is 19, but he's grown up in
just a boy. He didn't give us anything going forward.
He's watched Premier League football all his life.
He's just a young boy.
Yeah, and he's been building towards this Premier League campaign that he's now on. He's been building towards it for years. He knew what his aim was. And he knew that the physicality, because he's around the press and everything else. He does social media, no doubt. He'll know that the physicality and and the balls required to actually enter into that arena. He knew all about that. Guilherme is Brazilian. He'd never stepped out of his home country until we brought him here. And he knew nothing about the Premier League other than it's probably one of the greatest leagues in the world. So, I do get your point, Mark, but the fact is Scholes has been nurtured for it. I nearly said another word that begins with G, and I won't use that one again. But he's been nurtured towards the Premier League all his life, mate. So, I think there's a massive difference when a foreign player comes in at that age, anyway. Mark, no matter what manager we have, our striker seems too isolated. And you're right.
Striker, is it? We don't have one.
Right, okay. Apparently he's 3rd fastest in the world. Who are we talking about here? Sorry. sure he will.
Somerville, maybe.
Guillermo. Yeah. Right. Randy's asking, how do you both feel about Potter so far? Do you think he could do more, whether it's tactics, or do you think he needs the players before you can judge him? And I think, personally, it's a little bit of both. You can't judge him until he's happy with the players he's got. By that, I mean that these are players that he's selected for a reason, or that he's had suggested to him by people that he trusts. At the moment,
Look, he's in a fortunate position where he's got the rest of the season no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And we're not getting relegated. We're not doing nothing. The season is over. So you've got the rest of the season. But if you've got 4 games coming up, and one being Everton, I think Liverpool coming and Wolves, if you lose all of them, the pressure will come and people will get pissed off, especially if you see a performance like we just seen against Newcastle. Really tepid. You can't keep dishing out that either, even though you've got the rest of the season. You need to, I think, give the fans something to, cling on to. That's just, and basically what he said when he first turned up. He wants to give the fans something to enjoy. Now you can't expect that people will keep turning up week in, week out with games like that Leicester game and Newcastle. Jesus Christ, I'm glad I weren't in that stadium. That was dreadful. The stadium was dead. The game was dead. Yeah, you got to offer more than that. So, regardless, he'll be here next season, and then you can really look at what he can do. But I'd like to see a bit more improvement than that.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that knows her knows how bubbly and optimistic at the age is, and she kind of losing it a bit at the moment. She's losing her kind of will to live, as it were, sort of thing.
I got up at 6 in the morning to watch that game, and I was losing the will to live by half time. I just gone, what?
I get it with us lads, but we don't see that very often from her. She's usually the life and soul of the party, mate. Makes everybody laugh, makes everybody feel great around her. Always does. And at the moment, she's fucking miserable, bro. And I don't like to see it. A, because she's my friend, and B, because she is the sunshine. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Like Happy H and all of us, mate. I don't mind losing that game, Gozer. I'd like to have enjoyed it. Newcastle. Yeah. I'd like to have enjoyed it, and I just didn't. And I didn't enjoy the Leicester game either. It was horrible. We won that. It was horrible to watch. And I think he has to get his head around this. Okay, be a pragmatist, but please offer something going forward. Something, mate. Come on, we need something to get behind it.
Wasim's just arrived. Good evening, Wasim. And he says, Potter has all the support, but if he continues with his pragmatic approach, he'll
that's my worry, Budge.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean? He will lose people like me. I'm not judging in one way or another. I'm judging game by game, and I'm never going to be a Potter out yet. Another year of this, maybe. But I'll just leave him be. But he has to offer something to get the fans up for something that we believe that he's going to make a difference next year. You'd hate to go into next season and think, oh, Jesus Christ, Potter's not the man. We're going to start a season next year going, we're not sure of him. I don't want him.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
we don't want that. Just for his sake, offer something and give us something to cheer about.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Cookie was saying that it's a process to go through, trial and error. Yeah. He has, apart from one or two, the same team as we had last year, although dragging at straws. And that's probably about right, mate. He's got better subs this year than we had last year, I mean. Or, potentially better subs.
I always say, don't get too down, don't get too up with a new manager like this.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that we've just mentioned, Ollie Scholes is getting his opportunity to
Yeah.
show what he can do. And I think one or two of the other lads will. I believe that Freddie Potts will be back at the end of the season, and then we'll see. You know, look, we know that Graham Potter works well with younger players.
We'll
He
see.
likes to develop players, so let's see what he can do. You know,
Let's see. Exactly. Time will tell with that one, bloke. You know, one positive was that probably one of the saves of the season came out of it, and even if it was Kilman trying to score, it was a cracking effort. What to say? What fucking Areola, pull that.
Even the referee acknowledged how good the save was, didn't he? The referee nodded at Areola after it had all been, you know, once the ball had been cleared. The referee looked at him and nodded at him.
Mate.
Yeah, mate.
Half that ball was in the net, geezer. Half the ball was in, man. He clawed it out.
An own goal. It would have been an own goal.
Kilman done his best there, mate. Kilman, if you can't beat, Kilman really, you got to look at him and say, if you can't beat Areola from 6 yards, what are you doing? Oh, cracking save.
Mark saying Guilherme has been here nearly a year and has 2 Brazilians in the squad to look after him. Both good points, and we have seen Guilherme a little more often on the park. Okay, maybe it's only been twice.
Right,
but,
look,
you know,
if he's as quick and as good as people think, geezer, we just think he's good, right? Then why are 2 managers not playing it? You know, are you saying they don't know what they're doing?
Yeah, 3.
Surely they know. To me, it looks like we should play, but I don't. I'm not on that training pitch. You know, and spending day in, day out with them. Why are they not playing him there?
Yeah.
You know, they're not just leaving him out because it suits them. If he was going to be a benefit to our team, then Potter would have him in that starting lineup, but he's not. Or he's not even been off the bench. I don't know.
Wasim's asking, do we believe the reports that Jonathan David is coming to West Ham? He believes it's hype. Of course it's hype, mate. You know, it's this little saga has been going on since bloody lockdown.
Mate, when you link to him for the last 10 years, you get a bit, get a bit blasé about it.
The first, the last window before lockdown, I remember our channels, I weren't doing any YouTube at that time, but I was watching a few, and they were talking about Jonathan David back in the summer.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Mate, I think since he was 8, we've been linked to him. he just get, mate, it'd be like being linked to Messi every year, right? And after the 10th year, you go, yeah, righto. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. It ain't happening. It could. Who knows? But you get bored. You get bored of the link, don't you?
Yeah. Guilherme is supposed to be faster than Mbappe. Right. Okay.
Well, obviously, speed isn't enough, old man. Called the Potter. He obviously wants more.
The fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt, played football in the German league and lasted about a season, I think. Maybe 2.
I think he played over here as well, Peter.
Yeah, but only in those soccer aid games.
Yeah, he couldn't cut the mustard here, mate. He was quick, but that was
not a chance.
He was, couldn't he? Not a footballer.
He's not. No,
he'd be a Sunday morning footballer with a lot of pace.
He was about our level, if you like. When we were playing. Jonathan David will go to the top 6 side. He scored tonight, although they lost. Tried and trusted tactic of the board. Yes, indeed. Right, Randy says, I do think it's fair that if we get Potter his players, but the style of play does not improve, and it is the same as Moyes, then I do think fans will not be happy to watch that. And you're right. You're absolutely right. You know, and And I would
Won't we?
also expand on that a little bit, Randy, and say that's why many West Ham fans aren't so interested in England anymore. Because, under Gareth Southgate, we saw exactly the same thing that we were watching week in, week out at West Ham.
Yeah.
Pragmatic football. That's not
No,
England.
not so. He can get away with it for a while. This season, he's lucky because we're not. If we were challenged for anything now, I don't think fans would be too happy. But it's one of them. Yeah, it's not good to watch. There was a lot of empty seats there watching it, on telly here, from here, at that stadium. And they keep playing like that. There's going to be a lot more. Because that's an effort to go there on a Monday night to watch that show. You can't keep doing that, man.
No.
So I hope he gets something right. Hey, Maltese.
Evening. Thank you for joining, bud. But Cieran hasn't got the rest of the season because those that said that when he first came in, free hit and all that, are turning on him already.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he has got the rest of the season. But what I did say, if he loses the next 4 or 5 games, well, that might change. The pressure. He'll still be here. West Ham won't sack him. They won't get rid of him now for the rest of the season. That's what I meant by that. Whether he's got the fans on board by the end of the season is another kettle of fish. And he might not. But he will have the West Ham board with him. He'll be here to next season. That's what I mean by he's sort of got a free hit.
Yeah.
But like me, I'm bored of watching it already myself.
Yeah. Maybe Jonathan Davies' agent has other players that are shit. Apparently, Jonathan Davies' representatives were at the London Stadium on Monday watching the game. It's Brazilian with a racing strip rather than a landing strip.
Jamesy.
Yeah, so let's see. We've got Everton coming up next, of course. Look at GP. There's something wrong with that man. Look. Oh, good evening, mate. Thank you for your kind comments as always.
Okay, cool.
So we've got Everton coming up next. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, okay, so we're gonna be. I think we're at home, aren't we?
No,
we're not. We're away.
We're away, aren't we? No, man. When Moyes first went there, that was the first go. I had to look at the fixture list and went, "Oh shit, we got to beat that fucker." Right? But I'll tell you what, they're twice the team we are at the moment. In full, they're doing well, and they don't look like a fucking Moyes team either. They look like they're attacking. They're fucking. Why couldn't he do that with us? I'm not looking forward to it. I think Potter's probably going to go and set up the same way like he did against Arsenal. It's the 5 at the back and just trying to hold them out. Because they are far better than us at the moment. So, I'm worried.
Me
not
too.
looking forward to that.
I mean, what Maltese just can't bring himself to beat up on Potter as this whole thing is draining on our supporters. And
that's a great point, Maltese. You explained it there really well. I don't want to beat up on him either, but it is draining watching that shit, man. It really is. And like you said about Happy H, Budge, she's. It's bad. It's just draining to watch it.
There's no spring in the step. You know what I mean?
No.
At the moment,
you want something.
That new manager bounce soon wore off, didn't it?
Yeah.
And
the Arsenal result was great. We felt great after that. But before that, remember the Brentford game? It was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
We've had more bad than good. And this watching this Newcastle game weren't no better than Lopetegui. Only that we didn't concede 3 goals, maybe. We could say that. But thank Ariola for that. God, yeah, he is draining.
Yeah.
And we
Randy's
don't want to come on here being miserable about it, goes up. I want to go, fuck me, I've done well this week. Yeah, how good was that? But I can't. We can't. It's fucking...
GP, what if Moyes finishes above us? Kind of embarrassing.
Oh, I think he will, GP. I don't think... What if he does? I think he will finish above us. He's got a striker there. He's got two of them.
Yeah.
Got Calvert-Lewin and Beto. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, that Beto's a bit naughty, isn't he? Yeah, so oh yeah, apparently, Jonathan David, Damien seems to think that there's a possibility we could still get him. We had a deal agreed in the summer for.
He's a free agent. But free agent means how much you want to put in his pocket for him to come, and will he accept it? That's what that means.
Well, team says he likes to look at the Amiga guy as more of our profile. I don't know who we're talking about here. That's probably why I've said his name really badly. I have no idea who he is, Wazim.
No.
No idea at all, mate. Right, what else we got? Yeah, we don't really want to talk about Jonathan David. I don't know that he's coming. I don't know. Like you said, that's worn thin for me, very thin. I think it's the same shit Sully peddles every time season ticket renewal comes around. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. The difference is that if we were really exciting from now to the end of the season, it does make a difference to people maybe looking forward to next season then, and renew their season ticket. At the moment, if you kept playing like this for the rest of the season, I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't. You just go, I can't watch this shit week in, week out. Fucking dreadful. Yeah. Hard enough watch it on the telly for me. Jesus.
Yeah, great point, James. Transfer rumours when the window is open is hideous.
Boring,
the rest of the time, boring as fuck.
Especially the same transfer rumour for the last 10 years.
Yeah, That's it, Colin. Only believe it when you see him signing the contract. Mark don't believe it's happening. 20 million euros to get him. Just tuned in. Good evening, Phil. Good to see you safe, mate. That's you, I'm presuming. Kieran?
Who we got that?
Phil Orm saying, just tuned in.
Phil, sorry, I couldn't see the name. Oh, Phil. Yeah, mate. All good, brother. All good, mate. Didn't get blown away. Nearly
got washed out, but not blown away.
Yeah. That's about it.
Good evening, Lynn. Thank you for joining us, sweetheart.
Hey, Lynn.
We've got a big problem in midfield too. It's too slow. We need pace.
I think we have got the slowest midfield in the world, haven't we? It's so slow. Yeah, it really is. Fucking hell. Yeah. What do you say? That's been like that for many, many years, though, isn't it? Lack of pace in the team.
Amiga, I don't know if I'm saying that right, or Gesund are more realistic, although Chelsea would probably nick Amiga.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in new signings yet, mate.
Right, Potter will get better, but the Ferguson deal looks a bad one. Yeah. Mark saying 3-0 to Moisey.
There you go. See, that's what
Moisey
performances like that do. It gives you no confidence in the next game. And that's one game I really wanted to win against Moyes.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have a lot of confidence in it. Do you, Budge? Do you think we could? I don't.
Not a great deal, mate. I don't know.
I think it could be another 1-0. It could be a goal either way.
Yeah, I'm always hopeful. But,
it could be, yeah. I don't think we'll give him a lot of goals, but geez, I can't see us. But he might change it. I'd say Paqueta could be starting. Who knows? Everyone's screaming for Guilherme. Maybe he starts. Maybe Ferguson starts. I don't know how he's going to play. I've got a funny feeling he'll go back to what he did against Arsenal as that worked and try that again.
So. No one can polish a turd, Cieran, says Cookie Hammer. Not even Magic Potter. But you could see a difference as soon as he came in.
Yeah. There was a difference, mate. We were all sort of pleased with that. And I thought the big difference was the effort rate from the players. Well, I think it all dropped off with Lopetegui. I thought the effort was back, especially with Paquetá and Kudus. And I thought the effort rates were far better. So there was that improvement. But now we've got to try. I don't know. I want to enjoy watching the bloody game. And I didn't last two games. Dreadful. But, yeah.
Yeah, Randy's saying the Everton game, we cannot lose that game. We really need an improved performance. I don't want to get a be careful what you wish for
you're getting it,
reaction if we lose. Fingers crossed.
That's coming, Randy. You know it is, mate. It's all set up on Talk Sport. They've written a script already. They've probably booked in an interview at Moyes.
We've got 6 points in 9. He got it wrong. Get over it. Okay. Just hope we win against Everton, says Randy. How do you see us doing against Everton? We've just been discussing this. We'll like nothing more than to do one over us. I don't like saying it, but I have a gut feeling that we might lose. But I hope not.
Well, that performance tells me I don't think we'll concede a lot against Everton. But whether we can score ourselves, that's the question. What's the lineup that he's going to pick? Is he going to change it or is he going to go again? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just too scared to drop these days, so Sully would rather bore us to death than take a risk. Napoleon Solo, good agent, yeah. A very talented striker, 20 years old. Thank you, Colin. What needs to change in the summer for us? What needs to change in the summer for you to think that we can have a successful window? And what does Potter have to? What does Potter have to do going into next season? And what does he have to achieve for you both? Well, I think
midfield has to change.
I think this season we just need to solidify the team under Potter. I think he needs to, for this season and this season only, I think he needs to climb a couple of places if he can, but kind of maintain a better level than we have done. I think he needs this summer window to improve the squad. Well, I say to improve the squad, he needs to do some changes. He needs to sell a few players, and he needs to buy a few in. And I'm going to just trust him and his team to do that. We got no say in who will be coming and going, and I hate speculating. But I do think that there will be maybe 3 out, 4 or 5 in.
Yeah, the midfield has to change, and so does. I think we do need a proper striker, but we'll see. how that works.
Yeah,
It's
who
not.
knows?
I'm not sure Ferguson's the
He
answer.
might find the next Caicedo or something, you know.
Yeah, we need a dynamic, pacey midfielder in there, and not what we got now. They're just too slow.
Mark, it's not me that's blurry. It's just the background that's blurry, mate. My room's a mess behind me. I didn't really fancy having it on camera. Jonathan David again. I'm going to skip past those ones. Slow, but same midfield that beat Arsenal away, and everyone was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we set up, didn't we, a completely low block against Arsenal. And we're away from home. And the tactics worked perfectly. And we were hoping for a little bit of magic, and we got it. We just didn't have any of that against Newcastle.
Good evening to your nan's shoes.
Good day, mate.
Evening. Thank you for joining us. Character. Any news on the Madrid penalties? Because it went to penalties. Real Madrid just scored the first. That was 3-4 minutes ago. Even if we get David, who's going to supply the chance?
I'll watch the highlights after this.
Yeah. Look, there's far too much talk about Jonathan David. We're not getting him.
Yeah.
We're not getting him.
Really
Why?
care.
We've been chasing him for like 4 or 5 years now. It's just not. And like I know he's going to be a free agent and that, but just not going to happen. It's 1-1 in the penalty situation at the moment.
Well, so like any player, if it's the player he wants, I hope he gets it.
Yeah, Cookie says we're not going to win the Moyes derby. We're not going to lose the Moyes derby. Going to smash them 3-0.
I like to hear that, Cookie. I like to hear that. The trouble is, we just have games where we're averaging about 2 shots on target. So we have to change that stat then, don't we, if we're going to win 3-0. Got to offer a bit more going forward and a bit more attack. We can't have another game where the goalkeeper just leans against the post waiting for the end whistle. And that's what's happened in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Old man says this Fulkrug injury has absolutely killed us, as he is definitely a part of centre forward.
It could be
because he holds the ball up and stuff. You know?
Yeah, it could be. It could be the answer. It could be the answer.
It could be, but with this injury, we're not seeing it. How are we doing? Socek hat-trick the weekend, then Moyes signs him for 30 million in the next window. Mate, he don't even have to get the hat-trick for that to happen. I think he's going in the next window to him anyway. Him and Vlad. I think they're both
I'm not sure.
Kevin Locke's asking, have I missed the cyclone update? You have, mate. Cieran survived, as you can see.
Still alive, mate. Loads of rain, load of wind, load of trees down, power lines down. A few people got smashed to bits on the Gold Coast, but I was fine. Apart from the rain.
Oh, hold on one moment.
Fuck you know, mate. There you go, mate. I didn't think I'd be doing this again this year, right? Because we've already had 4 up to this week, and guess fucking what? Another sharp attack in Western Australia.
What the hell?
Yeah, near Esperance it is. Quite remote area there, but beautiful beaches and clear water. And this surfing dude, I think he's originally a Kiwi. he was over travelling with his girlfriend around the country, and he was out there surfing and whatever, and got hit. It looked like by a great white, while his girlfriend was on the beach, watching it happen, and gone, geezer. The boy's gone. He's 50 metres off the shoreline, and I haven't found him. 37-year-old guy. Yeah. So, yeah, another one. That's 5 since December, geezer.
5 since December.
Yeah. 4 in this year already. Well, we average 2 fatalities a year. There's been 4, and we're in the middle of March. Yeah, and there was 1 in December. Fuck, yeah. Jesus Christ. Another one. Wow. And there's a lot of people calling for culling of sharks. And a lot of people
mate, no, you can't be fucking doing that.
No.
I ain't being funny enough. I think we ain't born to live in the sea. They are. So if we're going to be stupid enough to go into the sea, we got to take our chances and risk getting fucking eaten. Simple.
It's strange because of it. They interviewed this young lad. Well, he's not young anymore. He got attacked on the same beach in 2006, and a great white hit him and took his leg off.
Right.
And they interviewed him about the attack. He survived, and they interviewed him now. He's since was that nearly 20 years older. He was only a boy at the time, around 13. And he said no. Him and there was another shark attack victim there as well, and they both said no. There's no culling the sharks. It's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
because they accept the risk when they go in there surfing, and that's it. It is their back garden, and if it happens, it happens. So you'll probably find a majority of surfers and people that are beach people will not agree with a culling of sharks. It just seems to be lately, in the last couple of years, there just seems to be more sharks, so many around all the beaches of Australia, And I think because they sort of frowned upon shark fishing a while back and sort of put rules in place for it. And so there's not many sharks being killed or caught. And the numbers seem to have grown, which obviously the attacks have grown with it, So that's, but that's what it is, man. You go out there, I know, I've swam out there thousands of times. You're always weary, but if you're out there, it's a possibility.
Mate, listen, if you live in a country where everything wants to fucking eat you or kill you, right? You don't go swimming in natural water. There's pools for that, right? If you want to go swimming, swim in a swimming pool. Don't swim in the sea because you're going to get eaten. And if it ain't a shark, it's going to be a croc, right? So don't do it, right? If you're in Australia, do not swim in the rivers because you get sharks and crocs in them and all. And it don't matter how big or small the river is, they can have crocs in.
But we go back to the Jaws film. You remember the mayor in there, mate? He wouldn't close the beaches. Fuck that. This is worth dollars, this tourism. We want them out there swimming. But you can't have that. You can't, don't swim out there. No, bollocks that. We lose about, 1 million tourists this year. Can't do that. No, it's all safe here, boys. Don't worry about that. So when you see it here again, there isn't major publicity about shark attacks here because I think they're scared of hurting the tourism because Australia relies on that. You've got some of the best beaches in the world, but say when you see that Mr. Drone flying over Bondi and all the tourists out there swimming and the amount of sharks are 30 meters away from them, it gives you something to think about, I'll tell you.
So I don't know. So it's still 3-2. Penalty's been saved. I don't know who for. I'm assuming it's Real Madrid that are 3-2 up. Fly Fox is in the house. So Damien was saying he'd like to see a Jala nurtured into a winger.
Jesus.
Not sure that he's got the physicality to be a centre forward, but as a winger, he thinks he might cut it, a Jetty's missed 3-2. Oh dear. Rail have won on penalties.
It was a good game. The Liverpool PSG game last night, Gazer, for me. Watch that.
Yeah.
That was good. Fuck, mate, that was a good game, man. That was on a knife edge all the way through. Went to penalties, unfortunately, for Liverpool. Couldn't take advantage of the penalties, but hell of a game, man. They're unlucky not to draw it and go through. Hit the post twice, I think.
Dad is asking, do we think that Paqueta and Kudus will leave in the summer? One or both, I think will, yeah.
Well, Paqueta won't leave. He'll be banned. For me, I think Paqueta's getting banned. They've got it in for him, and they'll do him. So, and then you've got to decide whether the offer is good enough for Kudos to fund the rest of the rebuild, or you keep him. That will be the question. What Potter has to answer, that's up to him. But I do believe Paqueta will be banned. Them guys are out for him. They've got the knives out for him. And when they do that, they normally get it. Yeah. So I believe he'll be on a ban. And I reckon Kudos is up to Potter, whether he wants to take the money, if the offer's good enough, and rebuild.
And I saw another question from him earlier on. I think it was actually I believe it was. He said, would we, if we were, in charge at West Ham, would we sell Souček?
Sell who?
Souček.
Oh, yeah.
For the right money, yes.
I love Souček. I'm a big fan. But if the offer's right, time to move on, time to rebuild. Same with Soufal. The right offer comes in for him.
We would get 35 plus for him. I think it'd be a good deal.
No, I think you'll be lucky to get 20.
Yeah,
but
definitely. But
I think 20 mil is about what you'd look at for Souček.
Squeeze 30, 35 out of someone for him.
Anyone else is over 20, I think you've got to take it.
Yeah.
But that's down to Mr. Harry Potter, isn't it?
I think he's going at Goodison anyway. I think he'll end up at Goodison. I think our squad feels like it's not very cohesive, said Fly Fox. Missing pieces and players who don't quite work together. Potter is trying to figure out how to get the best of a team that doesn't work quite right. And, it's a mismatch of, David Moyes players and Lopetegui players. And he can't fit the only Potter-style player he's brought in. He can't fit it into that because it doesn't fit. So that's why I'm saying I think 3 or 4 maybe even might go in the summer, and we'll be getting in 4 or 5 new players. And they won't be, superstar names on superstar wages. There'll be little nuggets like Potter and his team tend to find. Yeah.
That's for the summer.
That's Arsenal out then. Yep, out of another trophy. Yeah, the trophy dodgers, that is. Fulkrug did look good versus Villa, says Damien, I must say. Just any time he runs, he breaks down, which is a bit of a problem for a professional footballer in the Premier League.
Yeah. But it is a shame because in that first half, him and Somerville were the bright sparks of that first half against Villa. We looked bloody good. And both of them got done since then. Fucking hell, man. Potter must be, pulling his hair out with that, going, shit. I mean,
aside from his current injury, Mikel Antonio was like a China doll. And then all of a sudden...
Then he won.
It was a big old turnaround for him. He was unbreakable at times, And I think that, with the right sort of time and effort into Fulkrug, maybe the same sort of thing could happen. But have we got that time? Not really.
Yeah, have we got that time? Or does he really? I mean, he's had a miserable time here, Fulkrug, all because of injury more than anything. Does he even want to hang around who knows? And again, this is down to Potter. I'd say that first half against Villa, he was bloody good. I'd imagine Potter would have been impressed, but hasn't had him since. Now, where we keep hold of him next year, that's down to him. Can he get a tune out of him? Can he keep him fit?
Old man knows, look, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Bigger boat.
That's from Jaws, isn't it?
Yeah, great scene. That was Sheriff Brody, wasn't it? His line.
Brilliant film.
Yeah.
Fly Fox says, I want us to get some players that we don't get linked to, or that the ITK get a link.
I'm a bit like that.
Hot balls. Just wake up one morning and see in the headlines, West Ham have signed.
Yeah, I'm like that, Fly, to be honest. I like to hear something coming out of nowhere, left field, and I don't know nothing about them. I prefer that than being linked to same old, like Jonathan David. Yeah, and we never saw it.
In recent years, the out of nowhere signings that we've made, and there have been a couple.
Oh, there's been a few. Socek was one for me, guys. I knew nothing about him.
Cornet was probably the most recent one that I can think of. He came from nowhere. We weren't even linked with him or nothing.
He was still nowhere after he came here. Didn't know where he was. We signed him and he went off to France.
Yeah, he's like, but at least he was part of the squad that won the trophy. Wasn't overwhelmed by the French kid who went to Bournemouth either. Okay. Dutch centre midfield. Hang on, we're not getting that right. Old man says these shark attack victims don't have a leg to stand on most of the time.
If they're lucky, mate. That's if they're lucky. They only lose a leg. Fucking that's terrible. I imagine you lose a leg to a shark, mate. Fucking hell. Yeah. They interviewed another geezer there. Like, he'd been attacked twice by sharks. One by a great white survived that, but he was a professional diver. And one by another shark took a big lump out of his leg. And he's still going in there. He's still going out there. Yeah. Fuck me.
Oh, good evening, John. Fresh. Am I just in time for Croc Shark Watch?
You might have caught in there, Fresh. Yeah. He only tunes in for that and then fucks off.
That was only about 7 or 8 minutes ago. So, yeah, you could have been in time for it, mate. If you didn't catch it, let us know and we'll rerun it. Right, hang on a minute. Just in the nick of time, Fresh. Look, so obviously he was, yeah.
Jesus, surely that's it for the rest of the year, guys. We met Rob 4. Let's see it. That's like 5 since December.
Kieran, I think you need to go and tell the fucking Sharks that.
Yeah. They don't believe in stats, guys.
Go on, swim out there and tell them, mate. Go on, you do that.
They just see a leg dangling from a surfboard and go, "Fuck it, you're getting it."
Just do a little tour around the coast of that little island you live on.
Fucking hell. I can't think
taking a rowboat. Fucking hell.
I can't think anything worse, geezer, than being out there being attacked. I can't think of anything worse.
No.
Fuck that.
Usually says just watch Rashford throw himself onto the floor and get the fullback sent off.
Yeah, still doing it.
Typical. There you go, 30 million to Everton, nailed on.
Cool. Get 30 million, mate. You're doing well there. Listen, I can't see that much money. I don't think Everton got that amount of money, mate. But
David Moyes believes he's worth that money. Trust me.
He might, yeah. He might. Well, to him, he might. Don't say that, but but he'll end up with playing next season. He'll score against us.
I've been saying this a lot lately. Like Thomas Socek, he's his new, Fellaini. Wherever he goes, he'll take Socek with him. Been fishing lately, Kieran? Want to know? No.
No.
Ain't even been to the fish market, mate. Didn't think that was. All right, we're obviously talking about something that we haven't seen. Cookie says he loves Sobchak, but I'd take a fiver and a slap with a wet kipper.
Yeah, I mean, most of us are like that. We all love Sobchak. We think he's great, but we know he's his abilities are limited, and I think it might be time to move on from Tomas. But spinny, turny. But I loved having him. Really did. No one could ever knock his effort. It's just he's limited, and especially when you play. I think when you play three defensive midfielders, it hurts him as well. You know what I mean? I think it's too many players of the same ilk.
Colin agrees with us, mate. You can't cold some of the wonderful sea creatures. That's the risk you take when invading their domain. Orcas are the kings, and great whites are frightened of them. Yeah,
it's the only thing great whites have got to worry about is orcas when they're ever in orca waters. But yeah, they're shit scared of orcas. They're the only thing that can kill a great white is an orca.
Actually, that's not strictly true because dolphins can too, and have been known to.
Oh yeah,
they ram their stomach so hard they rupture their.
But they have to gang up, geezer. You need 50 fucking dolphins to kill a great white. An orca can do it on his own.
Mate, you need 50 Tottenham fans to take on 10 West Ham fans. I mean, what's the difference? Right. I would love to go sea fishing in Australia one day, Cieran.
Yeah, you'd love it, guys. I've been out there, over the years, I've been out there a few times on the reef. Deep sea fishing's hard work, guys, because sometimes you got to drag up a fish from 30 meters. By the time you get it to the surface, that's if a shark hasn't come and took it. You're fucking knackered, guys. They've actually got these. I'm watching them out there now because they're pulling them up from the deep. They've got these electric. What do you call them? Yeah, they're connected to their rod, right? And they just press the fucking button. They don't reel, and it pulls them up. Because it's such an effort getting them up from deep.
I mean, really, especially if you've got bigger fishing idea for tuna. That was actually developed for tuna, and then people thought, "Hang on, we can scale this down a little bit." And
that's what they've done for fishermen. It's an electric fucking.
It's cheap.
What's the word?
Unless, of course, it's for a disabled person or something, Then I could see the point.
If a normal fisherman goes to save them the effort, because it is an effort. So I was knackered when I pulled a fish up there once.
I know some of the species you get out there, like giant trevallies and stuff like that, and the big old marlin and. What are the other billfish that you get out there? There's marlin and there's another one as well. Is it
sailfish?
Yeah.
Marlin, all sailfish. Yeah, you do that, but that's a specific type of fishing to get them in Pacific waters. There's certain places that are known for it. It's usually North Queensland. And they troll them, don't they? They run it on the boat
at about 30 miles an hour or something, don't they?
What's that, mate?
For the marlin and that, sometimes they tow the lure behind the boat, don't they?
Yeah, they just throw the lure right at the back and just drive and hope it catches on. I actually stayed with a geezer here once, mate. That's what he used to do. He used to run a boat up in North Queensland for marlin fishing, right? Sailfish fishing. Yeah. And he actually caught 1,000-pound marlin. We had the thing on the plaque about it because only a few people up there have caught 1,000-pound plus marlin, and he was one of them. Fuck me, and he showed me the photos of the marlin, and my God, it's ridiculous. It's so huge. I don't know how you drag it in. It took him about 4 hours to get it in. Fighting with a marlin for 4 hours. That to me ain't fun, guys. That's hard work. I ain't into that. It's too much effort, that.
Back to the football then. We look shit in midfield because JWP slows everything down to a crawl and then does a 5-yard sideways or backwards pass. We flew out of the traps Monday until he started getting on the ball. Rewatched the first 10 minutes. Now, I did watch the first 10 minutes uninterrupted, and I actually thought that was the way we had played all through the game, but it wasn't.
Not. Yeah,
really, because
10 minutes.
I missed a lot of it because I was throwing some darts and that.
Wow, yeah. See that 10 minutes, guys. I was thought, fuck me, I'm going to start enjoying this, but that was it. And like I said, I believe JWP was under orders to get the ball, put it fucking left, put it right, put it back. They give it back to him as well, just to control the ball and not lose it, and keep giving it back to Areola. I just thought it was terrible. It was just slowing the game down, killing it, stopping any momentum from Newcastle. That was the plan. But it was so fucking boring to watch. The first 10 minutes of the second half, geezer, we were a little bit more proactive than that, but without any end product. None. I mean, I remember that keeper saving 2 saves that were straight into his arms. That's it, the whole game. So that's all I remember from that.
Yeah.
But the first 10 minutes, we were on the front foot. We did look. I thought that's how we were going to go at them. I thought this is good, but no, it didn't last.
Randy's asking, what do we both think we need to do tactically against Everton, and who do you want in the lineup for that game? Well, as Kieran's gone to go and top up his glass, I will lead on this one. Say I think that Areola's done nothing wrong and absolutely deserves his spot. So Areola in goal, and I think we need the back 3 again of Kilman, Todibo and Creswell, with Ollie Scholes on the left and Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right. In the middle, we got to have Alvarez. I think we need to have Carlos Soler. I think he gives us a little bit more pace than most of the other players, and he's quick, play forward. And maybe another, Socek, maybe even JWP, I don't know. But then, we need to have Paqueta on the field really as well. So I think maybe him instead of the other. Soler and Paqueta seem to work all right. Don't know if they can work together. I haven't really seen that as yet. But yeah, I think we're not going to see Somerville. We're not going to see Guilherme. We're going to see the same names that we see every week, within reason.
Yeah.
Emerson might appear, but it might be Ollie Scholes.
I would definitely. I would bring Emerson on for Scholes in this game.
Would you?
I'd play Emerson, not Scholes. Give him a break. Give Emerson a run out.
Yeah.
Sure. Definitely, you can't have Prowse, Alvarez, Socek. That's got to change. All right. So you need bring one of them out of there and bring maybe Paqueta in there, or bring Kudos in there. Put Paqueta in front of it. Whatever way he does it, but you need to change something in that midfield. And I would give Ollie Scholes a break. Not that he's done anything wrong. He hasn't. But I'd give Emerson another run out, see if we can revitalise him a little bit. So, and he'll probably play for
Emerson's got a little bit of pace about him. So perhaps, as a wing back in a 5 or whatever it is at the back, he might provide a little bit more, of a mix up in the midfield, because we know he likes to work with Paqueta. We know that he's really beginning to find a link up play with Kudus. So, and all of that could be very helpful in midfield. And like you said, if we kept, you didn't actually say it, but from what I'm taking from what you said was kind of allow the midfield to be more fluid and cover each other and go forward when necessary, kind of more or less allow them to play their game. And I don't think that's Potter's style. But I agree with you. I agree with that.
Mate,
I would like to see more of a free.
if I thought Fulkruger's fit, I'd bring him. I'd throw him in there. If that guy's back training, he could actually start. I'd throw him in there, even if it was a first half. I'd throw him in, but we don't know.
Yeah. We really don't know, and we are going to be. Oh, good. Sean caught Shark Watch. Good stuff. We are going to be finishing a little bit early tonight, probably in about 20 minutes, because I have been up since about 4 a.m., not been very well all day, and I'm beginning to get really tired. So my apologies, but we'll be about another 20 minutes, guys. Someone's only worth what buyers is willing to pay. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd rather keep Socek than JWP, says Damien.
Yeah, well, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good question.
And Sean agrees with that as well. Look, he's saying,
I don't think he's far wrong because
I mean, look, when JWP came back from Forest in January, he looked good. He was doing everything right.
He's playing the role he wants him to play.
Yeah, he was bossing that midfield when he first came.
That's it. I don't think he's up. If you want to watch mediocrity every week, you keep him. The thing is, you might get money for Socek. I'm not sure you get much of an offer for JWP. So, as a squad player, it might be worth keeping him because you might not get any money for him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
What about a full Fiesta that would kill a great white? It's a push bike without a helmet. Oh, mate, really? Yeah, if we get the wind right, we can have a different season. I'm sure of that.
Well, I always say, mate, you live and die by your recruitment.
Yeah, you do.
It's going to come again in the summer.
Oh, Sean's looking doubtful about going on a fishing trip, mate. Oh, that's a shame. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that on a sport fishing trip. The old tuna and the trevallies and the big old jacks and stuff. Usual. Hang on. Who's got crabs? Mate, someone's got crabs. Yeah. I have more faith in Potter than Loptegi.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Agree. Absolutely agree.
None in Loptegi. But like I said, I'm still not in the camp of Potter's the answer yet. I need to see a shit lot more than this. Yeah.
Cieran has done an Arteta. Oh, really? Cieran never came.
Well, disappeared.
Or came second. I'm not quite sure what you mean. 3-4-3. Yeah, that's a good shout. 3-4-3. 5 at the back is supposed to give you control of the game anyway. Without JWP picking up the ball up 10 yards from defence all the time. 5-3-2 is a big no for Mark. Okay. 2-3-5.
How about we play 9-1? Because that's how we played against Arsenal, and we won that game.
Yeah, that's true, Mark. We need Todibo to start playing 90-minute games.
I'll tell you what I did notice, right? Because I was watching him, Todibo, in that game, Geezer. He looked ragged. He looked tired. He didn't look fit to me, all right, in that first half. And I didn't surprise me when he took him off when he did for Mavs, right? I just thought he didn't look fit, Geezer. And I don't know if that's just me or it's because he's got that ragged look. Maybe it's that. But I just thought he looked a bit ragged and a bit,
Mm.
he's not match fit.
You see, now, when I look at Tadibo, my instant impression of him wearing the kit and that is he looks right in the kit. And yeah, he's a good player. He does his job well. And, I think he's the sort of player that would develop and grow really well under Potter and his crew. However, as you said, on Tuesday, he did look a bit ragged on the ball. He was too often chasing the ball after not intercepting it and stuff like that. I just think that he needs a little more time to bed into this league.
I think so.
I think that's all it is, Cieran.
It looked like a match fitness thing for that. I don't think he got dragged off for any. He weren't playing well enough. He just looked tired, Gozer, to me.
Yeah.
And like he weren't match fit.
As I said, Tadibo too often was chasing the ball down after not having intercepted or whatever. But in fairness, 8 out of 10 of those chase downs, he got a foot on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he had a couple of heavy touches there, but got back and took the ball off the Gozer. The boy, I'm not knocking his performance. I just thought he looked tired.
Yeah. I think his general play is very good, but yeah, I think he lacks a bit of Premier League match fitness.
I think so. That's what it looked like to me.
GP's come up with a fantastic formation. I think we ought to try 6-9-6-9.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, flipping hell! 30 players on the pitch and a goalkeeper. Paqueta in for JWP. Yeah, see, that's where my head was at, Sean.
Yeah. I don't think it will be, but yeah.
Milengate to Finsbury Park. Right, Milengate to Finsbury Park. Right. Moyes will target Scholes because he thinks he's weak and he has no respect for our youngsters.
That's why I'd change him, Cookie. I'd rest Scholes in this game and I'd give Emerson a run.
Yeah.
They can change that, in the second half, but that's how I'd start the game.
John grabbed them by the car, says, good evening, John. Thank you for joining us, by the way, and commenting. Can't go on the pitch with just 2 attacking players again. The midfield is lacking any intensity. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely, John. We've all sort of agreeing on that the creativity in the midfield is non-existent. And I couldn't believe how many times, even when the ball was given to Souček or Alvarez, we were expecting them to, pick a pass or thread a pass. It's not going to happen, man. They're not that type of player.
They're not.
Alvarez's effort
was what you're trying to say.
But
you're trying to say is that they're not Pablo Fornals.
Yeah, exactly. They're no Lanzinis, they're no Fornals, they're no Paquetas. Yeah, they're not.
They're not.
And I think to play 3 of them together, it doesn't help any of them. It probably suits Ward-Prowse more because he sits deep and just knocks the ball left, right, and backwards. I mean, I'd imagine his passing stats were really good, JWP, because it weren't hard every fucking pass he made. It was pretty straightforward.
GP thinks I look buff. I think GP's a secret transvestite. If that's, I'm allowed to say that still, am I? I don't know. Cross-dresser. I don't know how you say it these days. I think Füllkrug is a super sub. Makes more sense. Start playing balls into him, and he won't fumble them like Ferguson. Okay. I mean, I did actually watch all the goals from the 24 World Cup. Yeah, World Cup. And I've got to be honest with you, Füllkrug's goals were good. In fact, watched out for all of our players, past and present, in that tournament, all the goals from them and the assists and stuff.
It's like
didn't realise
any striker, mate. If you go back to
had 2 or 3 goals in that tournament and a couple of assists as well.
Yeah.
In that World Cup. Full Krug, as
Yeah.
I said.
To get it though, it's a bit like looking back at Andy Carroll. If you look at his highlight reel, fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have him on the pitch to get it, and unfortunately for Fulcrum, he's hardly been available for us since he turned up.
Yeah.
So.
And then on the other end of the scale, Andy Carroll, the player that we did have that, was superb in every way in the centre forward role. In Dean Ashton, goes away on his England tour and gets injured, and we can't ever use him again. Finished. And his injury record wasn't particularly bad up to that point.
Just a bad one.
Bad injury that fucking ruined his career. And he's not bitter about it. He just said that he regrets not being able to play out his career. He believes he might have been able to achieve something, clearly, but talking about bus routes here. 277 Cubitt Town to Smithfield. 1 and 6pence, please, mate.
Smithfield, yeah.
Yeah. Moores will try and sign Calvin Phillips for 35 million.
I think once bitten, twice shy. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. Right. So Colin would like to see Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Creswell, Emerson, Paqueta, Alvarez, Soler, Bowen, Kudus. 5-3-2. Yeah.
Good one.
That's a reasonable shout, mate. Like I said, I think Areola's earned his right to be our number 1 goalkeeper, and he's earned it back, from earlier in the season.
He pulled off 2 cracking saves in that game. Yeah. Really did.
And he has done throughout his time with us, though, Cieran.
But his kicking geezer leaves a bit to be desired. I'd see it. His throwing is fantastic. When he throws the ball out, mate, fucking brilliant. When he kicks it, it's usually they're throwing.
Yeah, but don't you remember, like in the old days, like for a goal kick, sometimes it'd be the centre half that come and do it because the goalkeeper couldn't kick a fucking skin off the rice pudding.
But they're expected to nowadays, boy. They're expected to.
Yeah, well, our man is clearly not blessed with twinkle toes, right?
But when he takes it, when he throws it out quickly, Jesus Christ, he hits the mark. It's pretty good.
Dad says, "Smash the lights, guys." Thank you very much, Dad, and I agree. I think you should. Otherwise, we'll get a centipede to come and crawl on your face when you're asleep. People that watch YouTube videos probably will know that little phrase I just used.
You're allowed to take it. You're allowed,
mate. Too much in the space of about 20 minutes. God bless you, mate. That's the one, the number 15 to the bowling.
Yeah.
That's the one. Cieran just has as many caps for Spain as Arteta.
I don't know what that means.
Right. Let's start wrapping things up. So, okay, guys, before we go, I'm going to skip quite a lot of the chat because most of it's sort of to each other. John says, good content, lads. Hopefully see you again soon. Right, thank you.
Cheers, John.
Much appreciated, mate. We try to keep it light-hearted and not too...
It's always a bit better when we've had a good game and enjoyed it, but it was hard to enjoy last week. But
AT,
never know.
good evening, mate. Good to see Antonio there on Monday. Hopefully,
Yeah, that was a good. Nice to see him back and up and about, wasn't it? It
yeah.
was. Yeah.
And unfortunately, AT, you caught us at a moment when we're getting ready to sign
Yeah.
off. We've been going for an hour and a half nearly, mate.
Could be the last time you see him on a West Ham pitch, mind you. Actually,
Yeah, it
but
could
yeah,
be.
it was good to see him back. He's fine.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot worse.
Be nice for us to get a chance to say goodbye to him in the kit, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Even if he just walks out in it one day, you know.
But I might surprise this goes though. We could go to Everton and run them ragged. Hard to know at the moment, but the last two games don't suggest that. But you never know your luck.
Gotta go, lads. Have a great week. See you all soon, says old man.
Cheers, old man.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining. James, as long as it isn't what? Mega paid like mega pedo like Saville all over your face. All right, okay. Mega paid. All right, okay, yeah. I said millipede or centipede, didn't I? All right, James, thank you. Sign Antonio's cardboard cutout. Yeah, probably be fitter. Right, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. We will catch up with you again next week, barring any, shark attacks actually in the suburbs of Brisbane.
Well, I'd imagine we're not going to get one next week, hopefully.
Well, no, but I'm thinking about all that fucking water you've had. You know what I mean?
Oh,
One
yeah.
could quite easily swim up to your front door and come and get you when you're going out for a pint of milk. Listen, mate, stay safe. I know that the weather's a little bit upside down over there at the moment because of that. Did I hear that it might be turning back or something, or changing direction or something and going?
Well, it's done now. The cyclone's it's gone. The weather system that followed it was just shitloads of rain for 4 days. That's gone. It's dissipated, and now we're back to showery, hot, and now the humidity's got up because the sun's come out because of all the rain. So we're back to normal now, guys. It's been and done. It was an event, and luckily, because we had a week's notice, nobody sort of lost their lives. I think there was one man missing, but not quite anywhere near Brisbane or the Gold Coast. I think he drove into a creek and they couldn't find him. I haven't seen the news lately to find out whether they ever did find him. But yeah, luckily there were no real deaths. The last time a massive cyclone hit Gold Coast and Brisbane, 16 people died. So it weren't as bad as it could have been. Everyone was prepared as much as you can be, but you can't. It's the flooding that you can't prepare for because if you're living in a place in an area that gets flooded, mate, you're getting it. And
like you've told me before, you live up on a bit of a rise. You're not even at ground level in your house.
No, see, that's the problem. They built a lot of suburbs here in low line, and every time Brisbane floods, they flood, and they're getting it every time. So it's hard for them.
Changing the subject, mate. You're probably already aware of this bit of news, but for people that knew Peach, yesterday we received the sad news that his mum passed away. Please, obviously respect Barney's, grief and stuff. If you want to send messages, send them into the channel, and I'm sure we'll arrange for Barney to receive all your goodwill messages. Thanks everybody for joining us. Sorry to end on such a poor note, but I didn't want to ruin the whole show by doing it at the beginning. So, rest in peace, Veronica, and you're back with your son. And hope Barney's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna just go. I'm not gonna play out with a video. I'm just gonna end the stream as a mark of respect to Veronica. And we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Come on.
Laters.